Today is the first day of the USIB summer company. I've stayed after classes today to just kind of work on some stuff. My feet have really been hurting, especially this guy. So I rolled my back. I ate my electrolyte salts. I took my hairpins out of my hair because my bun was hurting. More roller toys. My warm-ups have been off and on as I get warm and then take time to stretch. Water. I've been taking notes in my little journal. I finally finished this really wonderful book, just sitting in the splits. So if you love ballet history and think you know it all, I bet there is a detail or two in here that you don't know. Shoes I need to sew, shoes that I wore today, and I love this guy. Could not have got through bar without it. And then yeah, I'm that dancer who had 3 bags even though I'm on a bicycle today. I think what I'm gonna do is get on my turn board for a little bit and then go home because it's actually about 6:30. We started at 9 this morning, but I bike here and I just haven't felt like biking home yet. This is my daily morning list. Oh, no, that's from last month because it's full. The orange tab is for July. This was for my week off here. I had a week between the younger student summer intensive and this one. So these are all the workouts that I did at that time, plus workouts from YouTube videos. So this is my chart for the new month, and I haven't done it yet. I've been here kind of figuring out what exercises I want to do, and I need to go home tonight and solidify this chart and solidify what I'm going to do for conditioning every day. Food and feelings diary. I got some really good advice from a YouTube video by Catherine Morgan to write down what you ate and then how you were feeling. And honestly, I've been feeling homesick and anxious and frustrated with my weight. Did do some fasting though, that was really good. And this is my gratitude list. I know I've gone over this before, but every day I try to write down, I don't know, 5 to 10 things that I'm grateful for. And it's everything from my husband and my cats to clean tap water. Today was our first day of summer company. We worked on some Giselle. I'm really happy about that. And like I said in the last video, I didn't feel like I could film today because it was the first day and people were kind of getting settled in. So later on, I'll see if I can film things. I'm still feeling really bad about my neck because I feel fat. So I'm trying to get the angle right on this video so I look like I have at least something of a neck. In editing the last video I did, I realized that I talked a lot about how fat I feel, how I don't feel good about my body. And also being around teenagers that week, it kind of didn't hit me until I was doing the editing and until I had told them goodbye that I was not being a good example that way. I never said anything about my body while we were dancing together. I never said anything about their bodies. With all the modeling, everyone was really positive because we had girls of all different heights and sizes, and it was more about what line or what cut of leotard is going to make your body look good. And there were a couple girls who were really thin, and so there were lots of leotards they looked good in, so we were trying to get lots of pictures of those. But me and a couple of the bigger girls, I was definitely the biggest one, you know, we'd hunt around and find 2 or 3 that were cut just right to not show off, you know, the pudginess, you know, for me. And I'm not really gonna, I really can't give an opinion on what the other girls look like other than that they looked good because we're all athletes. We're all here working on our muscles. You know, even if I don't feel great about my upper body, I can still show I have quite a bit of muscle up here and in my back. I just don't like the layer of pudge on top of it. So we were still able to find things that everybody felt confident in, and I have some pictures that I really like that I hope maybe Sancho will use in some of their social media, but we'll see. So this time around, I want to be more positive about my body and about my goals, but I also don't want to just settle down and be comfy with where I am, because I've been thinner than this and it feels better. I just have to figure out how to do it again. And for all this last week, I have been successful with fasting up to 22, 23 hours a day. I've kept my eating window sometimes as small as half an hour. The quality of food I was eating in there probably wasn't always the best, just because of how I'm living right now, traveling a lot. I'm riding my bike a lot. I can't go get a bunch of groceries. I ate a lot of eggs because eggs keep well, and I was able to buy a bunch of them. Lots of cucumbers. But at the same time, I have also been kind of eating my anxieties and my emotions again. And I know I've been doing this for a long time. So I got really homesick on the 4th of July. And we weren't dancing during that week. We had a week off and just felt really lonely. And I talk with my husband every night, but one of the things that keeps coming up is how we aren't really physical with anybody besides each other, as far as like hugs and handshakes. And he got a hug from his mom, but I really haven't touched another person. We held hands during our character class, but there's no one here that I know well enough to hug or embrace. And I'm really not a big touchy-feely person. I don't hug everybody, but being able to be physically close to people that I'm close to is really important to me. My family isn't super touchy-feely either. My dad is, but not really the rest of my family. I've really missed, being able to just hug someone. So anyway, that anxiety, and I think just worries about whether or not I'm going to do a good job this summer, get good parts in the performance, all the regular dancer anxieties. I mean, dancers are really disciplined people if they can have these feelings that I'm feeling and live with them their entire life and not blow up like a balloon from eating ice cream because you're anxious. Not that I had any ice cream. I did have a couple of cookies on the 4th of July. Just to be these strong people in this high pressure, even as a hobby, it's high pressure. So this high pressure calling, I guess. But I'm going to try and be more positive about my body. And like I showed you in my little notebook, I'm keeping a food and a feelings diary. That was a really great insight from a Catherine Morgan video on eating disorders, and I think it was emotional eating. Really good video. I'll see if I can remember to link it in the description down there. But it was just a great insight to not only write down what I ate, why did I go eat 16 cookies? Well, what was I feeling? Was I feeling anxious? And when I ate them, did it take the anxiety away? I know that's what happens. I know that's the cycle that happens, but it's having the awareness of it being about to happen and then deciding to make it stop. This video then is going to be about my experience as a company member here at USIB for the summer, and about how I'm still dealing with my demons and my bad habits. All the stuff that I feel like is holding me back when I'm at home, it all followed me here, and how I need to analyze it and deal with it, feel and deal instead of just eat. Or, I watched too much YouTube, I think, this last week as well, just trying to kind of drown my feelings and my anxiety, but instead just deal with things. But I think I just need to remember to work and focus on the good things that are going to happen and the exciting things I'm going to learn and the strength I'm going to gain, and maybe not suppress my anxiety and my loneliness and my homesickness, but make sure I deal with it, and definitely make sure I get enough sleep. That's going to be a huge part of it. This is my magic electrolyte mix. It's just table salt, which is inferior to a good pink salt, but it's table salt and a no salt alternative, which has potassium in it. So these are my electrolytes, and I seriously will just open this up. I even have a timer in my phone. Every hour the timer flashes and says eat salt. And so I'll take a pinch or two of this and put it on my tongue just so that I know any fasting I'm doing isn't going to be hurting my salt, my electrolyte balances. Try and clean up this giant mess and see what stuff can stay here and what stuff can go home. So I'm gonna go get on my bike. It's Saturday. I have completed my first week as a summer company member and it was awesome. I loved it. We had an excellent ballet teacher and she set Act 2 Giselle on us. My only problem is I've been injured in my my left foot all week. I can't jump, I can't push off of it. Even if I do turns on the other foot, I can't push off of that foot to turn. We set yesterday, or maybe the day before, who was going to do Myrta and the demi-soloist roles for Giselle Act 2. I'm still really frustrated that I don't feel like I was seen. I don't feel like my full potential was seen because we all learned all of that choreography. We all had a chance in rehearsal to dance Myrta and to dance, we called them the minions, the two little Willies sidekicks. I, for example, really love Assemblée en trainee. I almost have a double on my right side. I love that step, but I couldn't do it. I had to mark every time it was time to leave the ground. I had to mark that step, and it was extremely frustrating to feel like I was being lazy or, you know, being overlooked because I could never dance it full out. I don't know that that would have made a difference in any of the casting, but it's just frustrating that I wasn't even able to show what I could do. But that's okay. We are going to do a lot of Luigi jazz this week coming up, which is a little bit gentler on the body in some ways. And I'm really, really excited to learn more about that style. Today is my first day off. I took my first ever Uber ride to the beach. This is Wrightsville Beach. And there's been some really incredible thunder and lightning, which is why there really aren't people in the water, but it's really beautiful. Really hope that today and tomorrow my foot can kind of rest and heal. It's maybe not a good idea that I'm walking down the beach on it right now, but the thought of just sitting at the house was gonna drive me crazy earlier today. kind of had a rough week, so my foot has just been worse and worse. And I broke down a little bit on Monday and told the ballet mistress here that I'm just so frustrated. Kind of broke down and told her that I'm sorry and I'm frustrated that I look so lazy because I can't jump, and even things where we would just be standing on one leg, I struggle to just stand on this foot by itself. Is in pain. I can't move up through my releve, and I even walk funny in our jazz classes when we're just supposed to be doing like jazz walks. I can't do it because I can't press through this foot. It's just so annoying. And I said, I came here to be pushed. I came here to do the kind of work that you're saying these dancers have to be ready for in the fall. That's what I want. I want to work hard and be exhausted every day. That's what I want. But I can't do it because this pain in my foot won't let me do anything. I can't dance full out. And that's also been really frustrating physically. I have this extra energy at the end of the day because I haven't been able to do what I came here to do. And that's been really hard because of the pain. I've been having a harder time picking up choreography because it's this constant distraction. It's this constant, okay, this step and then this step and then, ow! Okay, what was the next step? That's been happening a lot. Maybe less so. We've been working on a jazz style piece, kind of older style, and the first day of rehearsal for that, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know my place in the formation. There was a group that I was part of that for like the first 20 minutes, I didn't realize I was in that group, so I kept missing my entrance. And it was all because I was trying to absorb steps and not think about my foot, but also take care of my foot. And we have it figured out now. We have like 15 counts of music left to finish. 15, 18, 16. 8 and 8 makes 16. It's cool. I haven't done this kind of jazz style in a long time, so I'm really excited about that. And it's all steps for the most part I've been able to handle or find a workaround with my foot. We practiced our Giselle yesterday, and it was actually nice to get into point shoes because it kind of squeezes my foot. So from that I've learned that squeezing feels good, so I'm going to start wrapping it when I'm not dancing. The rehearsal for Giselle was a lot less painful. I still can't roll through my foot into releve, but stepping onto it was fine. We're doing act 2, so the little chugs that the corps de ballet does after Merta and her minions are introduced. I can't do that when we turn around and do it on the left side. I'm kind of that dancer who's chugging along, and then my back toe touches the floor to kind of push me forward because I can't exclusively do it on my one foot. So my hope is that I keep resting and heating this. I'm pinching my foot right here, trying to make it feel better, and that it will be good to go in the next several days. My heating pad, and I'll wrap it up in this, and then just kind of do the port-de-bras while I watch people dance. So I learned the combination today. I knew what it was at the end of our jazz class. I was just only doing the arms while my foot was wrapped up. If you're ever injured, this is something to think about. I have to make sure I don't limp. It's this foot, and I want to turn it out and then kind of limp on it to avoid this painful spot up here, but it's actually making the rest of my foot tense up. So I have all these knots in the back of my foot that have nothing to do with dancing. They're from my weird limp. So I have to make myself slowly walk, even a little bit turned in. So that's my update on my foot and on my dancing. That aside, this has been wonderful. I'm here after all of our rehearsals and classes today, and I've been doing this pretty much every day. I will stay and I find workout videos on YouTube, specifically ballet videos like Catherine Morgan and Claudia Dean and a couple of other people. They'll have like follow along TheraBand or follow along Pilates for dancers or yoga for dancers. This is my little stretch and roll chart, and the video I had a little while ago, I had my rolling in my splits, so I just showed that. Especially conscious of my injury and the impact that bicycling has been having on my body, so I'm specifically working on keeping my hip flexors loose and rolled out, and the tops of my legs, because biking tends to tighten up those things, and also my back. So I kind of have to undo a little bit of the bicycling that I'm doing, but that just opens up my hips for being able to do ballet anyway. Wanted to show you guys my grocery haul. This isn't, oh hello. This isn't all of it. And I've already eaten some of the pickles. Oh, and I have some celery in the fridge too. But I'm trying to go like high, easy proteins. This is just like bacon, only easier to deal with, like just not as messy. And I love cucumbers, and I bought some hot sauce to put on my cucumbers. Sour cream. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna eat this entire thing in like 2 days, but that's okay. And this is a sweet little kitty. Hello, kitty. I'm really happy that while I'm staying here, I was able to stay at a house that had some kitties in it. Hello, this is going to be my little conclusion of my last 2 weeks as a company member at U.S. International Ballet in Wilmington, North Carolina. I've talked about a lot of stuff through the week. I didn't film every day. We've just been really busy, and I have had some drama with this foot right here that's kind of been hurting. I'm pretty sure that it's just some overuse work. If this were my foot, I can feel like a sharp burn right here, kind of, when I go through or from flat to demi-point. I can stand on demi-point. Standing in my point shoes actually feels good because the shoe is squeezing. I've been wearing my shoes that are too small with no padding. And that squeezing has really helped. So actually getting through our Giselle rehearsal was really nice because there was a lot of step onto point, and then my foot was being squeezed, or I could kind of stand on it. The only thing I really can't do for those Giselle rehearsals are any of the jumps. Anytime I've been given a chance to try dancing some of the soloist parts, and the little kind of chug jumps at the end where the core is all jumping, I can jump just fine on my way on my right foot because I enter from stage left. And then, or at least I have been, everyone's learning all the parts, because when we get to performing, who knows, I could end up down in this corner instead of up in this corner. But when we go to chug back the other way, I can't chug on this foot. I did kind of figure out yesterday if I kind of jumped on my heel, I could do it without making my foot hurt. But that worries me because I don't want to aggravate whatever injury is in there more. And also it doesn't look very good. I can't control the plie, so it doesn't look very smooth. I look really jagged, and we've been kind of getting in trouble for that anyway, because you want that whole line to look just like a smooth. I mean, you go look at it on YouTube. Giselle Act 2 Corps de Ballet, they finish the kind of the introduction of the Willies with this beautiful chug sequence of the whole corps coming together, and it's beautiful. So I'm wanting to talk about this injury a little bit more. It was really frustrating because I feel like I haven't been able to show myself off fully as a dancer. An example is from when we were all learning all the parts. We all learned Merta, and we all learned we call them the minions, the 2 women who come in and kind of accompany her, the demi-soloists. And my favorite demi-soloist is the one who has the step ensemble entraînant, where she lands and then she pops into an arabesque. I love that sequence. I love ensemble entraînant. That's where you jump up and you put your legs together in the air and you finish a single turn in the air. And I love that sequence. That part has pretty much been given to another dancer who is gorgeous. And like I said, in rehearsal, we've all got a chance to dance everything. We all learned everything. It's most likely that for our showing this weekend, she will be doing that part. Another thing that my injury really did is it kind of messed with my brain a little bit, because every time I went to use my left foot, I would get this like pre-pain signal in my brain, and it was keeping me from learning choreography, it was keeping me from absorbing corrections, and it was just keeping me from enjoying dancing. So I actually kind of had a breakdown on Monday where I went to the ballet mistress and was just like, I'm in so much pain and I came here to work hard and be a ballerina, and like I want to work so hard. I want to go home exhausted at the end of the day, and I feel like I can't expound all this energy because I can't use it all, because I can't use this one limb. And she was very understanding. She was very, very sweet. So after kind of getting that off my chest, I've started just doing, when it's time for everyone else to jump, extra releves and extra hip strengthening exercises. So I'm still getting some work. I'm not just sitting on the floor in the splits watching everyone else work. I've really rested it. This is the weekend. I've really been resting it this last 2 days. So I don't know if I'll be able to jump tomorrow, but it definitely feels a lot better. I've been icing and doing Epsom salts, and I've been keeping it wrapped. There was something else that I'm actually going to make a separate video on in a little while, but it has come up in a little bit of reading I've been doing and an article I read in Dance Magazine. And it just has to do with dancers and making a living, the monetary side of it. The article I read in Dance Magazine talked about the number of dancers or more the percentage of dancers who have to have another income or 2 or 3, because dance just doesn't pay well unless you get into a company that's really healthy financially. I don't think anyone at the Royal Ballet has 2 wait tables. I don't think anyone at New York City Ballet has to figure out their teaching schedule around their Nutcracker schedule. They're financially taken care of. And that gives them a great advantage because they can just focus on dancing. And I actually have that advantage right now. I came here on a scholarship, a little bit of a work trade, because I did do the chaperoning for the summer intensive for the children, but I didn't have to pay the usual trainee fee that this company has. And the only thing I've had to take care of was my plane ticket and my housing and groceries. I am in that really comfortable financial position right now. I can just focus on dancing, and that's been really, really awesome. But something that I also found encouraging as far as my identity as a dancer is to know that most of us, while being professional dancers, we make money doing it at least once in a while, or at least we're performing regularly, even if for me it's maybe maximum 6 times a year, just depending on what's available in the community. Even those people have to teach or have jobs that have nothing to do with ballet. A lot of us have to do something else besides just dance, and that's okay. That doesn't mean we are less in terms of artistry. You have extraordinary talent, just like in sports or in anything, in music. You can get sponsorships. I mean, I could go ask for a sponsorship right now. I could go put the effort into that. But if you're some kind of prodigy, or you have a lot of skill, or you were able to really get very, very good, very, very young, then you can do that. You can have that focus and not have to worry about your finances. But the majority of us either have to work, or this is the other thing, and I didn't realize this, but this can be a point of contention in the dance world. You have someone else supporting your career. I have friends who have spouses who are supporting their dance careers. My husband pays my rent and buys my groceries, and I keep the house clean. That's how it works. And I have friends who are still getting help from parents. And then I have friends who have started small businesses or work at other businesses, and we all do other things. I mean, even I have my little dancewear business that, I sold a couple leotards while I was here, and I used that on my groceries instead of my husband's income for the last couple weeks. But I just wanted to stand behind the people who say that there's no shame in that. That does not make you less of an artist. And I am going to talk about that more in another video, but that's just something that's been on my mind lately. 3 more weeks left of summer company. Our first showing is coming up this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. There is an adorable little kitty right here behind me. I've loved staying here with these kitty cats. I'll do another update at the end of the 3 weeks here. And then actually the very week I get home, we have a workshop with at Salt Lake City Ballet, a community studio that I go to in Salt Lake, with a Russian director. So maybe I'll do a little vlog about that week too. And this vlog series is just going to be amateur dancer trying to go professional and what that means. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later.